Welcome to the Born Unbreakable podcast with Coach Des. DJ F&A is in production today, and I have two very special guests with me to talk about an event that's coming up. So we're doing a little collaboration today. I have Pastor Andre, who's the founder of Kids in Action, and Miss Julia Williams, who's also a friend of mine, who is the co-founder of Red Velvett Events. So they've partnered up to do an amazing event, and I want them to have an opportunity to talk about it and a little bit more about what they both do. So, Pastor Andre, why don't you tell us about you, Kids in Action, and the event that we've got coming up?
Oh, thank you, Des. It's a pleasure and an honor being here. My name is Andre Anderson. They call me Pastor Andre, and I'm a veteran and CEO of Kids in Action Las Vegas organization. We originated in 2015 from San Diego. And so we're looking to bring forth our foundation here in Las Vegas and create Love on Kids. And so our organization we're a K-12 after school program where we service kids in underserved and disenfranchised areas. And so our acronym for kids is Kindred individuals devoted to serving kids, youth, and families. And so what we would like to do here, as we did in San Diego, is to establish a safe haven for kids to come after school, helping them with assistance in homework, providing them computer access, internet access, and also giving them snacks, helping them in their reading, and also be able to have fun with them because there is such a great need here in Las Vegas and actually around the world. We're also established in the Philippines as well, where we have an organization there where we partnership with different barangays and churches and pastors and organizations to love on kids there as well. And so what we're trying to do at this point in our organization is we're looking for a large community housing project to partnership with. We're also looking for large building to be able to create a community center as well as a sports ministry program to be able to assist kids and to love on kids and to help them grow. And so some of the things that we have done and have experienced because of that need, especially here in the Philippines, is the human and sex trafficking, the anti-bullying, the recruitment of gangs for kids. And so what we're trying to do is to offer different programs to help kids to be able to not be recruited, but also to empower kids, to encourage kids to have different avenues to look into, and also to bring people to be able to be positive role models for them so that they have an opportunity to have faith, love, and hope in the world.
It's amazing. I love everything you're doing. I have a special place in my heart for San Diego, where I went to school, and the Philippines, as my father was actually born there. So that's really great. I want to ask you, and maybe this is more of what you did in San Diego that you're trying to bring here, do kids find you or do you find kids or both?
What we do is we find kids.
Okay.
And so what we're hoping to do for kids to find us as well as we establish our community center and our sports ministry, but we want to be able to meet the kids in large communities, come to them in disenfranchised, underserved communities, let them know that, we're there. And so we're looking to try to do that with doing some outreach activities in their neighborhoods and community because we're very huge on community and partnership with organizations because we don't try to do anything alone, but we try to help and assist kids with other programs that are already there.
Yeah.
But mostly we try to want to meet kids in their own communities.
Yeah. So how can you're going to be having events, you're going to be doing outreach, but if people want to reach you now, is there a website? What's the best way for someone to get in contact with you?
Oh, they can reach me at kialv.org, or you can reach me by phone at 619-490-7447 or 619 398-6567, or you can email me at andre@kialv.org. And so those are our website and our phone numbers so that I can be reached.
Awesome. Like fellow 619 phone numbers here too. So we can expect to see more events. Maybe we'll even do a podcast at one of the events that you're going to be hosting in the community. And speaking of events, Julia, tell us about Red Velvet and the event that you've got coming up.
Thank you so much, Des, for having us, and me, of course. My name is Julia Williams with Red Velvett Events, and I'm the co-founder of event planning company with my business partner, Morgan Martin, who unfortunately is not here today. We're a female-owned business, and we are delivering smile on people's faces with every chance we get. We love to put events together and organize beautiful things for everybody. We have an expo coming up on the 26th of March. It's going to be on a Sunday from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to be at Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel, and it's going to be a fashion show, entertainment, nutrition, fitness, health, and many other surprises and wonderful things. Family friendly. If you go on the link and register, it's going to be free entrance for you. If not, it's going to be a $20 fee at the entrance. We would love for you to be there, and also with Pastor Andrew, who is going to have a booth there and talk a little bit more about what he's doing. Great vendors, great entertainment, and we are all waiting for you there.
So May 26th, this is happening, the Ahern Hotel. And what is the time of the event?
2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay, 2 to 10. All right, 8 hours of awesomeness that people can expect. And they should go to what website?
You can type in on Google Julia Williams or Red Velvett Events Expo, Las Vegas, and the Eventbrite link is going to pop up, or you can just go down there where I'm going to put a link on and
perfect.
Just register.
And we'll have that here, the link available for everybody to click. And you can reach out to Julia, you can reach out to Pastor Andre. But this is just the beginning of more collaboration to come. I appreciate both of you spending time with me on this little special segment of the Born Unbreakable podcast. But check both of them out and be sure to be a part of this event. It sounds like it's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Des, for having us.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Absolutely.
That's it. Bye.
The Born Unbreakable podcast show. Welcome to the Born Unbreakable podcast, another episode with your host today, Coach Des. Coach Des and DJ F&A are usually who's here, and I get to do a special episode with a friend of mine, Julia Williams, who is the co-founder of Red Velvett Events and an entrepreneur. So I wanted to do this episode because entrepreneurship is valuable to me, and particularly female entrepreneurship. And so that is our goal today, is to talk about Julia's story and her journey through entrepreneurship. So we're just going to have a little conversation. So Julia, tell us more about you and your story, your personal story, and how you got to where you are now.
First off, I want to thank you, Des, for having me. It's a great honor. You're a good friend of mine, but also somebody I look up to. And that's something that was consistent towards my life, finding women and people to look up to. I've learned so much from people I affiliate myself with, and I'm hungry for people that know more than me, are better than me, and help other people. And I say the better than me as in a bad way or a negative way, but more like people that can lift you up and you can share experiences, because we all know something the other person doesn't know, right? So a little bit about myself. I'm 37 years old. I came into this country in 2018 with my ex-husband. And I'm barely new to Vegas. I've been here 4 years now. And I already have 2 businesses, I would say.
That's
Going
amazing. 2 businesses in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's
being an immigrant.
Being an immigrant. Well, a little bit about my backstory. I was born in Romania.
Yeah.
In a little town in Romania in 1986, and during communism. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't nice as people think. They see the mountains, they hear about Dracula, and they have all these stories about it, which are true, most of them. That's why I look so young.
I was going to say, we could probably talk about your skincare routine here too.
We can talk about that.
Like, I love that. This might end up turning to the beauty segment, but
we can go there as well. But it all starts with the inside, I always tell people. But I always had this desire in me and this motivation and ambition, blind ambition to go outside of my country, go outside of my world. There has to be something better out there. I was never satisfied with my environment, where I come from. And many times, I'm proud of it now, but many times I tried to, I would say, forget about it. And always try to be something that I thought other people wanted me to be. And I reached, after many, many years of turbulence and many, I have been doing entrepreneurship since I was 21. I had my first business at 21 and I failed, and I had another business. I failed. I think I had like 5 businesses during my lifetime. And I must say you learn a lot from failure. People
learn more from failure
I think
than anything else, right?
At least with me, that's how it was. I learned so much because everything brought me to where I am today. And I could apply in America today all the knowledge and wisdom and experience that I've been through in Europe. I've lived in 5 countries in Europe, and I've always been a wild child. I would say I've never, nonconformist spirit. I've never really listened to anybody's opinions unless they're better than me. And then I listen. And I guess that's what made me go through life the way I have, not dwelling and not looking back. Not looking back is a skill, but looking back enough in order to learn from mistakes, and not just yours, but other people's.
So why Vegas?
Why Vegas?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I was with my stepbrother in Houston when I got his Vegas opportunity of a job, and I came here for training, and I only came for 3 weeks. And I remember I stayed at Luxor, and they paid for my training, and they wanted me here. And then you can go back to Texas and do the job. It was a solar panel company. And then after 3 weeks, I remember I called my stepbrother. I said, I'm staying. It's like, you're crazy. You have no money. You went with one little bag in Vegas luggage. What are you talking about? How many times are you going to start zero? You can be here with family. I'm like, how many times it takes? I don't care how old I am. I don't care how broke I am. I will start over as many times as I can because I want more. And I guess my message to people in general, but especially women, because we're women, and women haven't been taught a lot during times. And now we're starting to educate ourselves. I think it's wonderful. And now we have the privilege and the opportunity to do it without being backfired. So we haven't been taught not to settle. We haven't been taught to fight, just like men do in war. We haven't been taught to appreciate ourselves and to educate ourselves where it matters without losing our femininity and our magic of being women. And I think it's a very fine balance between being a woman, using your womanhood and your abilities to do business even, or work in wherever your work field is, preserve that, but also strive to do better and not compete, but work with men in order to bring this world to a better place.
Yeah.
I think we are in a world where we're so divided, and we need to find the fine balance between being a woman and also being smart, independent, intellectual, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I often say, when you mention the word competition, I always translate that for me into how can we take competition and turn it into collaboration? Because there's so much more that can be born from that, right? When you're in competition, you create friction, and it's a scarcity mindset because you're basically saying there's not enough to go around. When you're in harmony and you're in collaboration, there's an abundance and there's more than enough to go around, right?
Because of the element of fear. Competition, when you peel out the layers, what does it mean? It's the fear of being less than the other.
Right.
So the moment you live in fear in any sector of your life, not just business, you lose because it's a negative feeling. And it's not aligned with God and the universe and prosperity because it's not positive. So you always have to think of emotions and in terms of what do I attract? Are there a positive emotion? Are there a negative? And sure, we're humans. We always have you know, a little bit of fear, and we have jealousy, and we have its instinct. It's normal. We're born. When we're born, we cry first time. We don't laugh, right? So there's so many things that if we acknowledge, we can change and shift very easily, as long as you accept certain things. So I think the first rule, and what helped me in life, was the ability to look myself in the mirror and be honest with myself of who I am, of what I've done, good or bad.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness is key. The moment you accept something, either you like it or not, either it's devastating or not, it doesn't matter. The moment you accept it, as brutal and raw as it is and ugly, you can change it.
Right. Your 2 feet are on the ground, and you can't move forward if you can't accept where you are right now. So one of the things that I see often is you have ambition and you have fire. That's like 2 things that I feel immediately from you. When you tell me I had a bag, no money, new place, don't know anybody.
Don't know anybody.
Not many people would have the courage and the tenacity to do that. I see a lot of people have fire, they have energy, but they lack execution and they lack action. So seeing that you're here today, 2 businesses later in 4 years, what makes you take action? What are the things that you've done, you know, when you went from that 1 bag to taking step 1 to step 2 to step 3? Like, how do people do that and get beyond just an idea to the point where they actually do something to change?
I'm going to be very raw right now with you and honest. And I'm just going to say, is the type of anger that you have inside from not getting what you want and bumping into doors that is going to fuel that fire and idea in you to go out there and prove yourself that you can do it. I always said to people, for every door that was shut in my face, I will come back and buy the building. So once you have that mindset of, you know what, I'm pissed off, but that pissed off is good. A lot of people don't like that because they see it as, men have that in them. That's why men go and conquer worlds, and they have done all this amazing stuff. You guys have built a world because you're pissed off. You guys have that testosterone in you, and you wake up like this, and you just go off and you do things. And us women, we haven't been taught that because we're nurturers. We gotta do that, and we gotta be this, and which we can. Mm-hmm. I'm feminine.
You can do both.
I can, but that doesn't mean I can be pissed off. Mm-hmm. Now, the difference is that in cultural difference, I would say, if we're pissed off, we're crazy and emotional. Well, things are changing. We're not crazy and emotional. We are allowed to be pissed off, and we're allowed to move
cry.
Mountains and
it's
cry.
Okay to cry, right?
And express ourselves in each way that we can in order to accomplish things. Mm-hmm. And I think we are heading towards an era where we need to understand the power that we have and use it for good. Because during times, the power that other people have had have not been used for good. Mm-hmm. And it's up to us, if we are given that power, to use it for good. Mm-hmm. So I'm involved a lot in the community, and I'm also involved in educating women financially. I also do credit repair. And I'm all about educating women in their finance, in their lives, in doing better, in taking control of their lives, and doing what's best for themselves, the community, and teaching their children and passing this generational legacy of, just in case you need it, this is what you can do. Mm-hmm. Just in case your husband or your partner dies, goes in jail, something happens to him and he leaves you. Things don't work out. Mm-hmm. You need to be on your own 2 feet, and you need to have a craft, and you need to know where the money are. You need to know where the life insurance policy is, if they have one. You need to know what your children are going to be fed tomorrow or not. You can't depend on one person. You cannot put that pressure on one person, and then if things don't work out, be surprised about what happens. I think it's about men also having that awareness, and that it's a gift you give to your woman of making her aware and making her independent, but not like in a negative way, but making her aware of, baby, this is what's happening. If something happens to me, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
This is how you go on with the family business. This is how you do. This is where the money are. These are things that we don't talk about.
I think, and I think you're right. I think the pendulum has shifted, where in today's world, women can do many things that historically, have been a man's role. And particularly in America, you were afforded a freedom that, I wouldn't say it's perfect. There's still a lot of fighting in terms of salary inequality. We see it in sports, in, women NBA, or we see it in corporate America. It still shows up, but women are willing to fight and have a seat at the table. So one of the things that I value about what you've shared that I really want anybody listening to embrace, especially if you're a woman or you have women around you that you want to educate, is financial literacy. So for those people who might be struggling with what that means to them right now, maybe they're not in a position where they're in the driver's seat from a financial perspective, what's one or two things that someone can do to begin to take ownership of their financial health in their life?
The first thing that a person should do is take accountability for where they have misplaced their money. And by that is just take accountability of the fact that you're not willing to put $50 or $100 aside for a savings account or a vehicle that's going to generate compound interest profit next 10 years. And because you just like to go out every weekend and spend it on something that doesn't really benefit you on the long run. So once you understand where you're at in life and what you need to do to get there, things really start unraveling and become easier, and just changing your habits. I think it's just about changing your habits. And you don't have to people think you have to radically let go of stuff. No, it's just a little thing that can take such a big shift in your life.
Yeah. Incremental.
It's just quit one bad habit at a time, one bad habit.
Yeah.
And everything.
And because probably we have more than one.
Because we do.
So what I'm hearing from you is, one, understand where you're at. Let's again
be aware.
The looking in the mirror analogy that we were just talking about earlier. Take a look in the mirror, know where you're at, accept it. Let's go through the acceptance process. And then two is think about our habits. What can we do differently to make adjustments, to be more thoughtful around the way we take money that can become more money later versus maybe the handbag or,
It's a form of self-love. It's a form of self-love. And the reason why women have been bad with money, I would say, or are not financially educated, is because we haven't been taught to love ourselves properly. Men don't have that problem. Men love themselves. They have no problem saying no.
There.
They have no problem saying no. They have no problem prioritizing. They have no problem self-loving. They have their golf days. They have their free time. They have everything is a box, and they take the box out, solve that problem, put it back.
I love there's a video on YouTube, and it's like the way that men think and women think, and men, they compartmentalize, right? It's like food, activity.
Exactly.
Women are like holding the baby, doing a conference
doing
call,
7 things at the
paying
same
a bill,
time,
washing the dishes, right? Their minds just get like this, and we don't compartmentalize.
Because we are taught to sacrifice ourselves. Men used to be able to sacrifice themselves on the battlefield. That was their sacrifice. But we don't go to war anymore like that. Well, except if you're in the military, but even that it's not like it used to be. It's different. So we're used to being sacrifice goats, I say. And we prolong that. It's a generational curse. It's impregnated in our DNA.
Yeah.
And we give that to our daughters as well. And I always say to people, there's a difference between teaching your daughters to be independent and lonely, or teaching your daughters to be smart wives. You can teach your daughter to be a good person, a good woman, a smart woman, and also be a wife. There's nothing wrong with that. Why should we choose? Why are men only want wives that they can control by their lack of being able to sustain themselves. So if the only way I'm going to get a man if I'm a damsel in despair and I don't know anything and I'm not self-sufficient and I can fend for myself financially, and that's the only way a valuable man will look at me and want to make me his wife, that says a lot about our society today.
Right.
Why are we indoctrinating our people like that?
Empowerment.
What is it with the shift of power that we're dealing with? What exactly are we looking for here? And I always tell people, well, we can go back to how it was. Well, we want to go back to how it was because, women, we had agreed, but if back in the 60s was better and was good, then why have we fought for everything we are now? If it was that good, why do we want different? Why have we evolved?
Right. We've evolved.
If women were happy, why did we go through all this?
Yeah.
So I think we still want men to be men and women to be women, but we want to find a fine balance.
Yeah, we've reached modernity,
Yes.
and it looks and feels different. And I think we're dynamic human beings that have meant to elevate to a place I think where we're at today. So I want to make sure people know, to get excited about you. First of all, we'll put your information out there so people can follow you. But what are some of the exciting things that are going on in your businesses right now that you would want people to know about, whether it's from a financial side or from the event side? What would you want to share that would get people excited about Julia and where Julia is today?
I'm always out there helping people. You can reach me here down at Red Velvett Events, and I'm gonna give all the information to Des. I am an open book, especially for women. I can be reachable at any time with any problem, and I will find a solution for you or direct you to a person that can find a solution for you.
Problem solver connoisseur.
Problem solver connoisseur, yes.
And she is also the ultimate connector, I have found. Like if there is somebody that she knows doing A and this person doing B and then together they can do C, she will connect them.
Yes.
So if you are a person, particularly here in Las Vegas, that needs some kind of connection, that's another reason you can reach out to Julia. So 1, financial literacy.
Yes.
2, events. She's your woman. And 3, just if you need some connection, reach out to Julia.
Very involved in the community, and now with Pastor Andrew, that is Kids in Action. I'm very involved, and I'm planning on accomplishing great things with him and his foundation. I think it's amazing.
That's awesome. Okay, so as we're wrapping up this conversation, I want to ask you, who is a person that has inspired you?
I have many. I have to be grateful to many people in my life that have been kind with me all throughout my life, but ever since I came to America, I have been blessed to encounter wonderful people, and if it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't be where I am today, maybe. I wouldn't have they gave me strength and they gave me faith in moving forward because of their kindness.
Yeah.
And one of those people is Catalin Nistor, who is my Romanian good friend, who I rented a room from his house when I first came to Vegas with nothing. And he gave me a chance.
One bag.
He's my friend till today, and he's one of the best people I have ever met. The second person is Morgan, who is my business partner, Morgan Martin, who I met after that, and who I opened up the business with. And she's my friend first and my business partner after. And I love her and I cherish her. And I'm a godmother to her kids. And she's probably going to be in my life forever.
Oh, I love it.
The third person is Janae Simmons, who is my business partner in insurance.
Oh, I've met her.
You have met Janae.
Yes, she's
And
awesome.
She's amazing. And I just want to say how blessed I am and how happy I am for her to be part of my life. And I need to say this, as women, we go through battles, especially when we work in corporate field with men. And I was dealing with a situation in which I was willing to give up at one point. And she was just right there with me and said, just give me one more week. I will never forget. I said, just give me one more. We will do this together. And we became partners and we're doing great. And I am blessed to have her in my life. And I want to thank her for that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Julia, if you had to give one piece of advice to any entrepreneur out there, especially a woman entrepreneur, what would that piece of advice be?
Look for the right people. Don't lose time with the wrong people. Just look for the right people. The right people will help you become who you are. It's all about finding the right people.
I love it. Yeah. Man, we are very aligned in that. It's all about who you have around you. And then if people wanted to find you, follow you, what's the best place that they can do that, either a website or social media wise?
So it's a Red Velvet with double T events in one word.com, our website, Red Velvet Events on Instagram and Facebook. You can also find me at Julia Isabella Williams on social media.
Your name is so.
Yeah, it's the only thing I got from my ex-husband. He didn't.
Hey, you have to look at the bright side of things.
But I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that I didn't get anything like other women that come to America and, marry for a green card or for money or for whatever. And I wish I had. But that wasn't in my cards, I guess. My mom says it's never too late.
It's never too late. Oh my goodness.
But, I fought for my name, just like Tina Turner did. I was like, I want Williams. It's catchy as Julia Williams. I want it. And that's the only thing I want from you. And he said, fine.
I love it.
I want to keep it. And I want to build something with it. And that's it.
And you are.
Yes.
And you are. I'm so grateful for you, for your time, your energy. I'm so excited about Red Velvet Events and everything that's to come. I appreciate you coming on the show. And I think this is the first of many kinds of collaborations that we'll do together. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank all of you. Come back for the next episode. The Born Unbreakable Podcast Show.